And welcome everybody again, your favorite Zhillustrator. Let's do a fun little stream. No special plans. Demoing a little bit of my brushes. As always, before we start, I need a few minutes to share that I'm live, and then we talk about nice things in life. Tweet. So yeah, I encourage you, if you use Twitter, go share my stream, and it will help a lot. Retweet, go to Discord, and now let's share. Boom. Sharing a bit, alright. I should share to my buddies here. Alright, I'm good. I think I'm good. No, you're still, so I can relax a little bit. Should relax a little bit because it's always good to relax as much as you can before you start any kind of serious business. And if you know me, you know that I like to relax and take things easy because I'm orange. Look at me. Wrong. I'm orange. I'm horrible. So say hi if you're here, and let's see what we can do. So first thing first, I released my custom brush set yesterday, and you can see my cover screen for my custom set right there. I think it's a really good demonstration of what this set actually works for, but I did have people making some very interesting things with it. So for now we'll mess around with some demoing of this with my regular stylus, because this set is made for the regular Wacom stylus, normal one, not the art pen. Even though I have art pen too, I should mess around with that also. So let's make a new file just to be safe, so I don't accidentally overwrite things. I love using just black for demoing. So let's see. Just do some sketching and we'll see how we do. This is a brush called Airbrush Detail, and I'm working on regular canvas. That's 1080p. The point of this brush is to be able to make very wide strokes with the brush when it's tilted, and then very thin strokes when it's not tilted. So this is tilted, this is not tilted, so you can do this. Very dynamic little shape, and I can do some, stabilization is already like very, it's on 3, stabilization set on 3. So you can use a brush like this to have some very interesting little strokes for me, when you're sketching, you just benefit from having like this possibility to just have this variety of strokes without having to use a million different brushes, and just enjoy yourself. So yeah, this brush is good for that kind of if you like some softer edges, definitely you'll enjoy this one. Also, yeah, if you miss the stream, it is always available on Twitch on demand. And Juan Banana, привет, привет Juan Banana. Dobry wieczór. I'm still a good painter and still look pretty young. Спасибо, 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 очень спасибо. I thank you so much. I'm young in heart. What can I do? So this brush preset is called Airbrush Detail. Again, this is made for my Clip Studio Paint set. Let's make some cloak. So it's, for me, it's very important to have a good balance between soft and hard, and having this kind of airbrush makes airbrush available at the flick of a wrist. So you can see this is almost a solid line, like this one. It's almost a solid line, but I just need to do this and to get a very, very grainy, soft brush. So for me, it really works because I love to sketch dynamically if I can. I mean, I'm not doing anything, I'm not changing any parameter, I'm just drawing, which is, I guess, the end goal of everything. I'm just drawing, and, or as English people would say, drawing, and enjoying my time, being able to have these lovely dynamic strokes with just a flick of a wrist. This. That's what's important to me. So if you sketch, it's very useful and fun to have this versatile little brush it's very fun to use and gives you this big scope. Do you draw from zero from mine, or you make previous sketch and then draw some more? I do it like this. I just I draw it from my mind, but I do have how to say, a limited let's do a Russian guy with Shubara. We say Shubara with this hat. Привет, я из Russia. I just draw. I just draw like this. Let's do a soldier. It has a high waist and has this like, coat, and you can use this tilt to tilt on a little pressure. Come on, do properly. I tilt too much, unfortunately. You can use it to fill it up a little bit. So yeah, I usually draw from imagination, but also, yeah, if I need to use reference, I will use reference, because you shouldn't really like avoid using reference just because you heard somewhere that it's bad. I don't know. So let's do this. And let's flip the screen, which is really handy. I figured out as much as I... Opa! Nope, no print, cancel. Alright. It's very useful to print the screen. So you can see this is like 150% zoom, so it's still not a full zoom. It's more than my complete zoom. You can see how this brush really like works nicely for having very soft and very hard strokes in one. It's super useful. Well, and do a stroke like this. Say like black color. He has a strap, so we can do this. No, this and then this and then this again. So we can maybe sketch a little part of his belt. So yeah, the softness, which is dictated by your brush tilt. It's not a new idea, but I think not many artists actually think about it. And I want to make people just have more fun when doing their own art and just enjoy themselves more. So you can see I'm just doing lines like this very easily. And I also think it's cool. Yeah, definitely. This is all with black, actually. This is almost black, so also interesting, you can just do this like big stroke and then a small stroke and you have a skull, an instant skull. Really? Oh. I love filling space with just a little bit of strokes, not much, so let's flip again. Let's finish this guy. So you can see it's super easy to have these little fun, interesting strokes with this kind of brush. Because it can do detail like this. That's why I call it detail brush. Let's make him have mustache. So yeah, for me, having ability to make more in one single brush similar is very valuable. Sometimes people forget about these soft brushes. Soft brushes are sometimes very valuable and very interesting to work with because they make you see shapes and see things. Like I do this, and then let's do like lay out this basic tone and just make this guy with wide nose and some big mustache. Eyes, eyebrows. It is too dark, but you know, you get the point. Sometimes using soft brushes really helps. I love just having this shadow of the eye, it's my favorite thing. Just doing the eye under shadow. But yeah, if you need a dynamic stroke, you're available to do it like this. Just put my tablet, put my stylus on, start drawing a line, and just do a flick of the wrist, and you get this. This is a flick of the wrist. You do this, boom, boom. You get this interesting line. But then you can go back to this very detail heavy brush, which is maybe I want him to have like a big beard, and I can just simulate this big beard with this soft brush, and your eye will automatically, it will fill out the blanks. That's the point. So let's do some anime nose, anime cheek. I don't need that light color. Alright, this is good. And this entire time, note again that I'm not touching my keyboard except for space and alt for picking the color. But look, one hand. So I'm trying to do everything with just this one brush size and this one this one brush. That's part of my brush set, so believe me, it's worth $5, I think, in the end. It's very weird, I just tend to draw this when I don't really draw characters. I'm not a character artist, but for me this is the best way to demo things with something like this. Let's try and erase a little bit. So, yeah, and also when you erase, when you use the eraser, you get this wonderful dynamics of very sharp edges and very lost edges, like here. You can see here edges are lost completely. Now I'm adding very soft white accents by just tilting my brush. You can see this is very, very stark, and now I tilt it and I get very soft brush. This is very, very soft and very, very useful if you need to do a, like, say this is a vest and there's like a design on it, maybe some flowers, and then paint a bit over it with a lighter tone. So I just pick and flip. It's completely easy and very entertaining. So that's why this airbrush is very, very fun to use, because of this versatility that it has. Being able to make really big, wide, soft strokes just with the tilt of your pencil. it puts a lot of freedom in your hands to dedicate your time to your sketching and having fun. And now I used the eraser a little bit and just let's do a white thing. Use my airbrush to add a softness to it. Maybe this like a metallic plate here. Yeah, when there is no pressure, when there is no tilt, pressure is still pretty hard. So this is good for those initial sketching areas that you need to. Initial sketching areas. That's not too good. Right. Overhand, and again using this tilting ability to just add a little bit of it's very interesting for me. Let's say we need something darker here to balance out everything. Like this. We want this fluffy, like some kind of fluffy overcoat, scarf, something like that. That's the idea here. Like some some fluffy scarf, and you can do really nice shading, just quick little strokes. Color will give you interesting shading. And also you can see this graininess here. It's also kind of entertaining. I did not think about perspective, so let's say his other hand is here. Maybe he's holding something. He's holding a sword. Again, you have this freedom to go with these big soft shapes and figure things out on the fly. Maybe he has like a big plate of armor like in Warhammer, like something on the shoulder. And it will get some bounce light from his face a little bit. Okay. Damage here and there. So yeah, this is the benefit of using these very soft brushes. Maybe this is a cable running somewhere. This is a high-tech warrior guy, something like that. This thing holds his sword. Maybe he has some drink container on his person. It's a lot of drink. And we need a shadow of this drink container, his ambient light, ambient occlusion in a way. A little highlight here. We can shade it a little bit because this is not in the side where the sun is coming from. So yeah, look at this. This is super fun. Wow! It looks like Don Quixote or a conquistador. Hey, Tatreb, welcome back to the stream. Yeah, he's a gentleman. Es un bandito. Yeah, so this is all made with this little thumb brush. Just a flick of the wrist and you will get interesting little transitions from soft to hard. Maybe like here I need a sharper transition. Let's do this. Let's maybe just color him dark here. Yeah, you can see I'm just using Pilt to fill out shapes. Let's flip again. Just making sure that I'm not the worst ever designer. Where is his cut? Yeah, like here. Alright. Dish, dish. And now do some more soft shapes to fill everything up. Because we don't need to think too much about this. Just you can see this. Also, this gets you, if you just press, you get very semi-hard line. This is like low pressure, this is the highest pressure. But tilt can get you a bigger line, but with less opacity. That's the idea behind this brush. This power, this amazing power of doing airbrushing, but very interesting airbrushing. I think it's all about this dynamism, being able to do lovely dynamic lines. You can even start your flip again. You even start your drawings with some blobs like this. Let's do it. Let's do some blobs. And now we have some head blob and some body blob. Now we can use our sharp end of the stick to actually make something concrete out of this. I mean, I'm doing these guys with hats and beards because that's my comfort zone. Maybe there are some Warhammer-like things. Hello IP, welcome to the stream. There are some saints. Yeah. Start rough, add to it, repeat. That's how you do this. And let yourself relax, that's very important. Hello Joel, välkomna. Go do some lurking. I'm just demoing a little brush work and just figuring things out for people and helping them decide to buy my brush set. Yeah, buy my brush set, buy my brush set, give me money. Money, 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 money. I like money. I like money. Živko Kondu, it's 2019. Good, at least remember it's 2019. A lot of people don't yet, and me also. I'm one of them. I keep forgetting which year is it. Alright, so this is his costume. And this. So for really good soft and hard brushes, brush combo, this is maybe one of the brushes that I enjoy the most. And this set is available to buy for $5 in my online shops, or if you're a patron, you'll get it as a thank you for patronage. Is it linked in your Twitch? Oh my god, I think it's not actually. That's a mistake, but let's do this. I'm going to link it here. Yeah, I should check because my Twitch is not open. I only popped out my come on, Živko. Popped out my chat, so I'm not really sure if my shop's link. But yeah, basically gumroad.com/Zhillustrator, my username, and you'll be there. Or CubeBrush or Gumroad, it's either of those two. And let's just give me a second. I want to open my Gmail on my phone so I can see if somebody buys it. Oh, somebody bought it on my website. First time in my life. Somebody bought my... Oh, awesome, lovely, lovely. $5, ka-ching! Ka-ching, ka-ching. Somebody bought my brush set on my website for the first time. Somebody bought something from my website. I host my website on ArtStation, and they have this ArtStation shop, web shop, and it's very easy to maintain, it's very easy to update, so I'm really happy to be an ArtStation Pro member. It's $75 a year, but it's, believe me, it's worth it. You don't have to just worry about anything. You just and also because it's my website, it's connected to ArtStation. My website is powered by ArtStation, so whatever I put on my ArtStation, it automatically gets put on my website too, which is super useful. Also, let's try fixing things. For example, this guy, his head was a bit wonky, so let's just paint over. Zoom in a little bit. Let's make him look, he has tiny eyes. Oh, mustache. And big hat. No, it's not good. Maybe with eyeshadow. As he has a hat on, we can just go do some shading without worrying. Yeah, I'm doing this very softly, so it's okay. In fact, I just wanted to demo it a little bit. Yeah, this is a very nice feeling. Brush. Yeah, because this all was made with one brush. and I'm still just using one brush. This one, airbrush detail. It's whooshy brush. Whooshy brush. I think we all need whooshy brushes in our lives. Hell yeah, another sale on Gumroad. Hell yeah. Let's earn that money, motherfucker. Let's earn that books. I mean, I hope people like these and continue supporting as I plan on making more. I do them for myself first. I think that's the key behind them. So I'm not just making a brush as a gimmick. I make it to be applicable. So you would do a head, you do a little eyes, you do a little nose, you do a little mustache, like I always do. His chin, the double chin, his hair, and you just do this, and you fill it out, and pick another color, and you get little soft shapes here and there. Make some eyebrows, maybe monobrow. This space around the eyes is a bit darker. Maybe he has red cheeks, so it's kind of darker around about his cheeks. So you can do a lot of balancing with this one brush. So yeah, that's basically this one. I just wanted to mess around with it. A little bit on the nose. And yeah, just feel free and do these wide shapes. Do just very right pressure, very right tilt. Practice. Because people don't practice with this stylus. That's what I notice. People just do these kind of lines. No, you have to try making a line like this. Whoop. Gentle line. Try using tilt to control your line a little bit. And start line very non-tilted. It's just this completely like this. Yeah, this. And then just flip it, and you get this much more dynamic line than some boring gold. Like even now, let's try it in practice. Let's try another line like this, but we'll make it interesting. And you can see it's already more dynamic. It introduced some better looking folds, and it's very easy to do like this. With some armor around his face. Yeah, just relax and try to enjoy your drawing. Darker, and then we will have it here. Because we need that. He's a bit drunk, maybe. I'm a bit drunk. I don't know what I'm doing. I promise. So when you zoom in into this drawing, you can see a dynamic happening here. Look at this line. Whoop. No. It has this certain amount of dynamics that just helps you become not a better artist, just be able to express a little bit better and learn how to use the freaking graphics tablets as an actual tool for drawing, not just doing lines like I mean, you can do lines like but this brush actually, whatever you paint, you get something good. Just I mean, it's not me, it's you. Yeah, you just do these quick shapes. Maybe this some earth skull thing. Let's make it into like a zombie. You see how this softness benefits a lot. It kind of fills stuff in without having to think about it too much. It's good not to think about it too much, especially in these initial stages of doing art. I mean, these are not necessary when I started. You can see that something is starting to form underneath this. Now we want to do a line like this, but we won't do this, we'll try to do this. And you immediately have introduced a bigger form in the picture, and now you can contrast it with something smaller. So for example, everything that you put here will now be interesting because of this big wide shape. And you can always use the eraser and just so it really benefits this feeling of being an artist and creating interesting shapes. You can see this line, just whatever this can be like a skull. Again, I'm doing skull thing, so let's do this. So just with a few strokes, you have something that's it's expressive and fun to use. Also, just I love this possibility of this very soft edge that you can get if you just tilt a little bit with your wrist in action. So from soft to hard and vice versa. I hope you're enjoying this and my little demo makes sense. So yeah, these are all drawn with the same brush. And it's really fun for me to make characters like this for demoing brushes. It's just what is this? Let's see. This may be like a helmet of some kind. So you can see I'm just doing these flicks of the wrist, and you can see I'm having some very fun little shapes going out of it. Now, yeah, I think it's probably time to switch to another brush. This one is way too fun, so just name the layer. Airbrush tail. So yeah, this brush was very fun. I'll do another layer. Boom. And select the other brush. This is called Artrage Pastel Plus. And this is also one of my favorite brushes, because it also has this, it's more pressure oriented, but yeah, tilt also dictates your brush direction, dictates the flow of the lines. My favorite thing about this brush is this layering of color and this contrast that it has. So if I do very thin strokes, I can contrast them with very hard strokes that make up very harder lines. Excuse me, so another guy with a mustache. Yeah, of course, I'm so original. Oh my god. What can I do? This just comes naturally to me, and it can be good for demoing. So why do I call it Artrage Pastel, this preset? Artrage has, it's a different program. It has this wonderful texture that you get by overlaying different colors. You can get this paper texture almost. You get this paper texture. Let's try painting his face a little bit. Try some color. Some mustache. And some red for the cheeks. We want him to have red cheeks. And maybe a red cap. You can see how it builds up really nicely. I'll just pick from the canvas. Now let's sketch a little bit. So this preset makes these lovely little textured elements while you excuse me again, I'm having some something in my throat. Yeah. Should probably just try and make these demos a little bit faster. Under his nose, the hair, ears. Yeah, still. You get this very nice textured brush, which is very interesting to mix colors with and do some mixing just for. So you can see that it mixes really nicely. I think I'll maybe do some more work on this one. So it's tilt is also affecting the size. This currently, I think it's only pressure is affecting size. The pressure and tilt both in the end, I think. As you can see, it's also very fun to work with, and if you need this kind of sketchy, fun lines, you can work with it. So there's a guy here. Let's make him have a big mustache. Yes. Like most of my ball guys. Let's have a big hand armor. Wow. Now let's take this red and make a red belt. So this is especially good for painting over things because it picks up color a little bit. Let's just color these quickly. So this brush set was made with quick drawing and quick painting in mind. So let's make him have a hat. Because all their guys have hats, come on. And maybe some arms here. For me, the point is to be quick and decisive and just enjoy the process. So maybe this red is a darker red. So pick a darker red and paint this little ambient occlusion and let this darker red blend in with the normal red. So put this red on the hat a little bit. Maybe a stripe here on this armor. Maybe his arm is also red. You can see how it blends in. And makes combining colors and actual like sketching very easy and fun. So I hope it's obvious that I'm having fun with this, and I hope you will also enjoy your little brushes. If you buy my free version of these brushes, you can try them. You'll need a stylus that has tilt support, to be honest. I didn't test it on any stylus that doesn't have tilt support, so yeah, you'll need tilt support to be able to use it. So let's try maybe adding some color to this guy's face. You can see it blends the color right in a little bit. It's useful to have some color around, of course. Let's have some of those be red, maybe more red. And now add a little highlight on his face and under his face, under his nose, his forehead. Maybe it could be going a little bit towards the green. Highlights. Maybe it's like this gray mustache. So let's see. And gray eyebrows. And gray hair. He has some weird skin tone. Nobody cares. I'm just sketching. That is too dark. Oh, you can easily fix this with one of my brushes. I forgot his name. Highlight, dodge glow. Just do this. and you corrected the colors. Now it's maybe too bright, but who cares? We just wanna... Now we want ears to be red because of subsurface scattering, and then we covered it up a little bit with normal skin tone. Again, be very loose and very... it can only benefit you if you're loose and if you're... We use glasses. Let's draw some glasses on it. So this one is not really made for super thin lines, but still you can make something out of it, I think. Let's do some... and I want to keep from changing the brush size here. It's also important that I'm trying to demo this brush in its default conditions. So when you buy the set, you get exactly this. These are the default settings of this brush, and this is like 100%. I mean, I have a little bit bigger monitor, so let's see, at your screen it could be probably like this at full size, so you can just see how it works. Start with some red, some ears, and now let's try some desaturated blue, because why not? To make some interesting contrast. Some black for some hair. Blah blah blah. But you can see the point of doing this. Okay, let's do another brush. It's called Blend Tilt Size. So this is a brush that does a little bit of blending, obviously. You can see if you hold it on non-tilted, it will do blending in a very small size. But if you tilt it, it will blend. Will blend a little bit more. So let's try it at this size. So see, you can do very nice little line control schemes where you decide which edge is soft, which edge is sharp, and you can do this very wide, very big blending and just with pressure it blends in really. But the point of this brush was to be the brush where which gives you this possibility of very smooth blending with this. You can see it's super smooth. Maybe it needs just a little bit more refinement, but yeah, if you get the brush set, you'll get all the updates. So you can see I'm doing this, just this edge here, and making it more blurry. Now when I return to this, this is eraser. I just erase here, erase here. Let's erase this. Just for, whoops. Blend here. So it's best to blend from the color you want to blend in. Yeah, this is a blender brush in a way, but it's kind of heavy blender brush. Let's get back to this. As I said, I'm not the best character artist, but yeah, I try. I try. I just feel that this is the easiest way to explain everything. Yeah, this brush is definitely not used for very high amount of details. I've seen some people use them very zoomed out, so if you're zoomed out, then you have this possibility of thin lines which you can blend in nicely. And just start with a big lump shape. Add a bit of blue, just for fun, just to make this skin color stand out a little more. Yeah, if you zoom out, this brush can also be used for some like sketchy lines with some... Opa, again, pressed the wrong button. This brush can also be used for very dynamic sketching, which is my goal here. Hello, Jah, how are you doing, man? So yeah, the dynamic sketching is what we want to achieve here. That's what's the most important. Yeah, this can maybe work better if you zoom out a little bit. Let's say this guy has some coat. Now this preset has pressure size relationships, so it's not really tool oriented. But what I like with this preset again is this color layering that gets made. You can see these little gaps that the colors make that simulates the way one of my favorite programs for painting called ArtRage simulates pastel. It's very, very, like, you can build up a very nice little textured look to your art. By just laying color over color and letting it create this lovely texture you can see here. I should probably do a tilt version of this brush too. Yeah, it's on my itinerary. definitely. Pick this blue, blue-green. Little highlights, space. Because why not? Maybe it's artificial lighting. Yeah, the point is be quick and decisive. Just enjoy your sketching. So this preset again is called Artrage Pastel, and it's very friendly for some color blending, and it's pressure based, and it's very good for layering color with a simulation of a heavy paper. You can see this. This is how it blends the colors with this like gap, small gap inside. Some ambient blue, some bounce light up here. You can do these little like experiments to simulate it's not real, it's real-ish, I like to call it, traditional-ish media look. Definitely, if you want to blend colors, this is one of your probably presets to go for. So mixing colors, creating these little color overlays, doing some green desaturated to emphasize this red, blend in a little bit. So you can see what I'm talking about here. It's very, very fun. It's interesting to use, and definitely benefits from a style of drawing that's more loose and liberated than if you come in and just insist on drawing every single line, every single thread of clothing, every single, you can see how it creates this texture. So yeah, again, this is especially good if you're overpainting something, so you can do this. You can get these very fun textured shapes and textured I forgot what I want to say. Yeah, you can get these little noise textures. Yes, I wanted to do that. Little noise textures to help you out with a look that's maybe more traditional if you aim for something like that. And again, color mixing here is lovely, and I enjoy just using it here. As you can see, just covering things up and letting the preset keep these underlying colors that create these funny textures underneath. And again, I am doing this without changing my brush size whatsoever. I'm not touching any tool settings. I am just using the default settings all the time. That's, for me, that's very important. Just give me a second. I've been live for an hour. I demoed 2 brushes. Yeah, I've been trying too much. Just let's try this. Like these characters blend in the background. Like this. So you can see how fun this brush can be. For covering things and for just making these fun little pages just full of sketches. Just make this darker now. You can see how it leaves the gaps down there. So you can get the richer color. Richer texture, I mean, at least. And then you can also use this brush that I made for giving things a little bit of glow. And you can use it to enjoy and add some more details. Some more red for his ears here. Yeah, you can never go wrong with just add some red and put in so you can have a little bit of subsurface scattering around the cheeks and around the ears and around the lips also. So you don't really need details. This is like the perfect example of detail without detail. So basically I'm not detailing, I'm just sketching, and you can always take this and make something out of it. Maybe you want him to be some kind of sorcerer. So it's, or he has a leather suit maybe or something like that. I'm too lazy now to search for reference, so I'm just gonna make him have some cloak maybe. So yeah, this is this other preset. So let's try making something here. Let's do something stylish. A robot here or something like that. It's super horrible. Yeah, you understand what I want to try to do. I want to make this level like a multi-level texture, so just filling up a little bit, and that's it. Messing around and showing how it works. So tilt also makes it bigger. You see, this is tilted completely, and this is no tilt. Hello Laurie, welcome to the stream and thanks for following. Let's do this. Maybe there's some guy with a funny little helmet. So yeah, basically this, I think I demoed this preset enough, so I can switch to another one. If you're new to the stream, you can watch the video on demand if you subscribe to me, and or if you get a patron, if you become a patron, and I give these streams to patrons after they're done in a day or two, something like that. Yeah, this preset's called Artrage Pastel, and again, you can buy this brush set on my website, on my store. You can buy it on Gumroad and on QBrush under my username Zhillustrator. Check them out, buy them, share them. They're good, seriously. Okay. Let's name the layer Artrage Pastel Plus. Yeah, let's do color correction. Let's do some just color balance or levels correction. Let's do hue saturation. Let's increase the saturation a little bit. And let's see if you change the hue a little bit, what happens. Yeah, I want it to be redder, definitely. So previous layer, previous brush, let's flip. Previous brush called airbrush detail. Next brush, this brush called Artrage Pastel Plus. And let's make a new layer. Close this. And do a little fun with droplets. So this is one of the I took this concept from Clip Studio's basic brush set. They had this like droplet brush, but I really didn't like it, and now I will show you the difference from Clip Studio's droplet, which is this. Super artificial. It's like, come on, what were you thinking? I mean, what is this? This is horrible. Like, come on, look. Super horrible. What is this? This is Clip Studio's default droplet brush. Maybe like if you just press once, but they still point to the center, and I got very annoyed by it and decided to make it better. And thank you. You're welcome, Clip Studio. You're welcome. My droplet is fucking droplet. Look at it. This is a droplet brush, not this stupid Clip Studio brush. I really need to zoom out a little bit. It's 100%. Let's zoom it out a little bit, or increase the brush size. Let's make it bigger. You can see this. This is a droplet brush. God damn it! Look. It has all these levels of how much ink is in the water, and it has this lovely overlay. So this is a droplet fucking brush. Family stream, no swearing. And I will let you be the judge by yourself, because this brush is a part of my free version of this. Also controlled by tilt. And pressure. Pressure does this. Tilt makes it bigger. And it also has this option. You don't know if you can see it. Let's just check if I made it. Correction. Yes, make corners pointed. Yeah, I need to rewrite this brush set. Let's first load default settings. Reset all settings to default. Yes. So it takes it back to the default size of the brush. And now here in the tool property window, I don't have an option to remove this this very fun little option where you do quick strokes up and down. You get this. So it's a very interesting setting, and it actually helps with realism, because when you do like toothbrush dripping and similar, you will get these little like little scrubs of paint. This little, you can see how it's going up and down. See, instead of this, it's doing this. That's controlled by a property in the correction settings in the subtool in the brush panel. So make corners pointed. This is the property, and I love Clip Studio's ability to be able to allow you to quickly access all these controls by clicking this eye icon, and then this control appears here in the tool property window, which is very useful. And I try to actually make these settings that appear here make sense. So I should add border of watercolor also to this setting. Maybe somebody doesn't want the border of watercolor, so you can get this maybe more digital looking. You can't see it. Damn. This is not made for big canvases. This is made for smaller canvases. So there is no border or watercolor option on, but when you enable it, you get more realistic drops. And maybe I should really increase the size a little bit. Let's try 250. Again, I love giving you the control over the brush without having to worry about changing the brush size. You can just change the brush size with pressure and tilt. So this is a very fun brush, to be honest with you. And I will only use it with one color and not use it on the default settings. But I think I will make this the default settings. Drop a plus. Yeah, you can always overwrite the default settings by register all settings to initial settings. So then your brush will be saved like this. And when you make any changes, you can revert to this level of this stage of the brush. So because I made this border watercolor property visible in the tool property window, and also corner pointing, which makes this lovely effect. You can see how it goes up and down. Yeah, I love this effect. You can turn it off and it's just it's boring. Leave it on, don't turn it off. This is better, 100 times. 100 times better. Look. Wow. Wow. I hope you enjoy this as I'm enjoying it. So this will be probably just first stream of demoing these brushes, and I'll probably cut out these the streams and make them downloadable for all the customers of the brush, so they can figure everything out easily. I can see some people having a harder time to figure out how all the things work. So yes, let's register all these settings to initial settings, and we'll probably when I release when I figure out, like, if I make more changes, I will just make an update, and new customers will just get this, and old customers can just change stuff if they want. I mean, in the end, I can always update the brushes and send everybody the link. Let's register all settings to initial settings. Boom. It says overwrite initial settings of selected subtool with current content. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I want to proceed. Okay. Okay. Let's click the button. Alright. Love it. I just love how this brush looks. I'm zoomed in a little bit because I'm using a 4040p monitor. So yeah, this is full size for me, and there is no... I just love this brush. And then you can take the eraser spray and erase a little bit, maybe make this grungy textures, and just... Or you can take my smudge and make this. This is fucking realistic, almost. So this smudge is pressure based. This is a very simple smudge brush. I need to make more smudge brushes that would smudge a little bit when they are not tilted, and smudge more when they're tilted, and all these little settings. We can see how it works here. Let's open the settings. Brush tip, brush size. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, brush pressure determines the size. That's alright. Yeah, because you can do very small smudges here. But what we want is in the ink window, I think. Not I think, I'm certain, because I did made this brush. This thing is in charge of mixing stuff, so I can give it this property to give it a different amount of color with different pressure and with let's see, positive paint, and you can see you can try doing this. Yeah, you can make it a multi-smudge brush. Yeah, let's try doing that. So let's say pen pressure, but 100. Minimum value. Okay, I love this curves option here. And here also we'll do is tilt to give it possibility to mix in the color. I think I better stick to which register all settings to default resets, and I'll do this off stream. For now, this normal smudge brush is very it's a very basic brush, so enjoy your smudging with it. I still think it's nice, and I'm kind of not sure if it's Clip Studio. Is there any option where you can... The preview of the brush is always looking at the biggest size possible, and for me I would love if it would show the current pressure level in this little outline. This outline of the brush is my currently biggest problem with the art pen, for example, because it doesn't show rotation of when I take my art pen. It doesn't show its rotation. So, but let's not talk about it. So this is the smudge brush. I mean, there is nothing to talk there. Let's try just making shape here and see how it acts when you smudge it. You can see it has texture, and it gives you this a bit of fun little scribble. Next brush is, oh yeah, this spray eraser. This is also an interesting brush because it's an eraser, but it's not an ordinary eraser. It's like a grunge eraser. If you want to, say, make this silhouette more bitten, basically, you can do this. Because I don't know why, but I made it. So this is the eraser that does this. It's an eraser spray, which gives you like almost white ink option. I also have a spray brush. I also have a spray brush, and I'll have to update it to let's go to correction, no, go to border watercolor and make it visible, and register all settings to initial settings. So in the next brush update, I'll just give people this version of this brush, which is where you can control the border of watercolor from the tool property window. I don't know why I didn't. It's exported and Clip Studio Assets, and just to replace it here. Save, yes. So I can know in the next brush update I will have this brush with these controls. So eraser spray does this. So basically gives you a little bit of interesting erasure method. So if you want to do some texture, if you don't make some grungy little designs, you can do it with this fun little eraser. I mean, this gimmicky preset, definitely, but you know, all kind of people like different things. I should probably move it, but nah, I'll just make it as the order is alphabetically, and now we are into maybe the most interesting brush, one of the most interesting ones, this graphite pencil that does these awesome lines. Yeah, IP says that the brush is lovely for rust and wood. I think you can do I want my customers to find their own usage for them. So this one is my graphite tilt brush. Graphite tilt, I call it graphite tilt, because it's like a pencil, it's full size, and wow, you can get these messy shapes that are again controlled by make corners pointed property in the tool property window. I made it so you can turn it off, and I made stabilization available for you to increase it or decrease it. I'm using this brush in the regular settings, so it has these pointing corners. That's why I call it messy, graphite tilt messy, because these pointed corners give it a really messy outlook. So if you like do some sketching, let's do some zombies. You can have these lovely, like, really wide strokes. As you can see, this is why it's called messy. You can turn this off if you don't make corners pointed, but then it's just a plain old pencil brush. I like it messy. And you can turn anti-aliasing on also, but if you turn it on, it's more processor heavy, so I turn the anti-aliasing off. It's depending on your personal usage. This is a brush that's very heavy on the PC, especially on bigger sizes. But I think it's it pays off, because this brush is very fun to draw with. Just because of this dynamic that you can get all these all this like dynamic range of the brush is fantastic. You can even make it bigger, but I think there's no point. It's like graphite, basically. I love graphite because it allows you to have this wonderful dynamic range. So yeah, look ahead. Now if I use less pressure, I'll get this fun little artificial texture. And I'll combine this with a brush like the smudge. You'll get really nice results. But I'm definitely gonna make a brush that smudges when it's pressed heavily and does lines when it's pressed lightly. That's one of my next brush projects for Clip Studio Paint. So I still have to get introduced. I still have to learn the brush engine a little bit more. Yeah, this is the graphite brush, which is very, very fun. So you can use it. This is untilted, it's very thin. When you tilt it, it's very thick and textured, grainy. So yeah, this is very, 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 very fun to draw with. I think, well, this is one of my first brushes I ever made for Clip Studio. I saw some tips on how to make a brush grainy, and inspired by some daub brushes that are pencils, but I'm not a big fan of them because they're very. I have them here. I don't know. No, I don't have them here. I have them on my tablet. Those pencils are very not dynamic. This pencil is much more dynamic than daub pencils, presets. Let's make another head here. Somebody looking from up. Looking at somebody from the upper angle. But the point is just to show how this brush is really good for any very versatile line work. So you can see, like, it's almost natural. It almost feels like a graphite pencil. For me, it does. It's mine. I made it for myself, after all. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Okay, do this nose. This here. Cheek. Chin. Yeah, okay. Screw that. Just I want to demo the little brush. You do a signature with it. This brush is also part of my free pack, so you can download it and try it, and let me know if you like it. I think you will, because what's there not to like? Come on, you can see how this looks. It's really good. I'm not humble at all. Do some view from down. Some light is underneath this guy. This is also one of my favorite lighting angles. I'm not a character artist. I'm not the best at this, but I enjoy this, like from below lighting. It's very fun. It's dramatic. It's just blended. Add some shadow down there. Okay. Yeah, graphite tilt brush is super fun. Here's another page. Now let's try and at least finish half of the brushes on this stream. Graphite tilt. Title. Graphite titty tilt titty. No. Okay, this next one is a dodge brush, and this brush is, as its name says, it's dodge glow. It's basically linear light. No, linear light. The how it's called, the blending mode in Photoshop. Just give me a second to check something. All right. So this brush is called Highlight Dodge Glow because it's a brush that's made to do this. So I'm using medium gray on medium gray. So this is the point of this brush, is to be this little like light brush, and this is a linear dodge, I think. Add. No, but there is a Clip Studio Paint has its own blending mode. Doggy brush, yes. It's the dog brush, dodge brush, dodge. It's a dodge brush. It's also controlled by tilt. So tilt that's small gives you a little dot here, lines, similar, but it's very drastically goes up in scale when you tilt. So this is made for these times when you need something darker and you're not lazy to search for all these specific brushes that do just that. But you make little lights with smaller brushes, and without changing the brush size and taking another brush, you can do this kind of light. Push it with this big tilt, just push that light, whoosh. So yeah, this this is a very simple brush. Let's again start. So no tilt is this, and now if you do tilt you get very, and pressure makes it only this big. If you press, pressure only makes it more visible, but tilt makes it bigger. And there is a option for this, makes corners pointed, so you can do little shapes like this, which you can't do if you uncheck this option, the make corners pointed in the toolbox. So this is not part of the free pack, I mean, because it's kind of utility brush only. But you can see this usefulness of this brush. It just I should show it in practice. Let's try drawing something. Let's do a face. So this is a very rough, quick rough face tissue. But it's single color and it's not really like attractive, and just, I don't want to spend too much time on drawing. But now if I want to make it quickly lighter, I can just do this. Go to it, pick the color and just whoosh, make it lighter. But I can only make parts of it lighter, so I can go with the nose and then just increase it along the whole. So I can be a little bit selective of what I want to be lighted first. Maybe I want to make it like he's lighting from bottom again. I will just do this. Try with smaller shapes and then add lighting where I need it, and then switch to this original brush that I made this with. Let's switch to graphite tilt. Let's just do that. So I want to make this guy like be lighted from the bottom. This top lip is getting some light, and the lower side of the bottom lip is getting some light. This chin is getting some light. The bottom side of the ear. This top lid of the eye. And the bottom lid of the eye. It's not so much good light. Eyeball. This kind of brush that's variable kind of brushes that are variable are really useful. Really useful for some quick lighting, or you can choose which thing you want to. So you can draw a little bit with untilted brush, so you can see it's not a big alright, so this is the usage of this brush as I intended it, at least. Again, through this basing lighting scenario, I'm not good at this. Again, I am good at several different lighting scenarios because I prefer those. I like drawing these like guys with just top lighting where their mustache are like this, very familiar to me, and I'm just good at this kind of lighting scenario where it's lighting from the top. Yeah, now you can see how graphite tilt pencil is a really good preset. Okay. So highlight dodge glow is this kind of preset where you can just mess around with. Maybe it would be interesting for when you have line work, for example. Lots of visual library on that one, I bet. Oh yeah. So you have some line work and you want to make it lighter. This is a good preset to do it, because you can take parts of your line work and just select the color of your line work, or some darker color, because even blue. So this preset is good for this kind of thing. So if you have need to lighten your artwork, this is very quick and dirty way to do it, especially because it's just underneath this preset that you need. So this is graphite tilt, this is pencil. And then you just need to lighten the artwork and just do this. It's very quick and dirty. But yeah, you always have to remember to lock your alpha on the layer by hopefully pressing the star. No, I don't know how to do it in Clip Studio. I don't lock layers. I'm like very. So basically, yes. Taking the pencil, making a little line. And then you can see this, alright. And then taking this highlight dodge glow. But again, I remind you, this is a tilt control brush. And you can do this. You can do this gentle, small lines where you need them. So you can do this here like this. And then make it lighter. So this is the point of this brush. Alright. Let's go to another one. Oil pastel. This needs a bit of refinement. but this is also one of my first brushes that I ever made. So let's make something. This will also end up being a guy with mustache, and I bet you, look. So basically this oil pastel brush, in how oil pastel work in my own head. Oil pastel is not really a discrete tool. It's it mixes well, it mixes really well, but when it lays down the initial line, it's very when you lay the initial line, it's very how to say it, peak. Yeah, let's just do a quick little. I'm mixing in a little blue here, so I'm getting this, moving the color selector to blue, but decreasing saturation a lot, because we don't need the blue to be saturated. We want it desaturated, so the contrast is less. I'm just getting this blue in just to get this red to shine a little bit more. It's just an artistic decision. I know you don't have to do that. Let's do more saturated red for the eye socket. Mayhaven, welcome to the stream. I'm happy to see that you like my brushes. Yeah, this is a very fun set for me, and I'm really happy to have other people agree with me. That's like very. I'm honored to receive this like confirmation that it's not me only that's enjoying them. Let's make the top lip. Let's first just color it a little bit. So, oil pastels as a medium, I use them traditionally. They're a really interesting medium, but as I said, they mix really well, but it's kind of hard to get a solid line when you already have a layer of oil pastel under it. So that's why I decided to make this something like that. And when you press hard, then you get these textured shapes, and then you get a little bit of the complete like brush, the pastel stick gets a little bit crusty, and let's do eye socket. So you can see it's not easy to get concrete color when there is something lying underneath. But that's the joy of the tool, because it lets you mix color in really interestingly. And it makes you kind of think more about like mixing colors, and it's very interesting to use. So you get these very traditional looking shapes. And then again, you can get this highlight dodge brush and add very quickly, add a highlight. Like I just want to highlight on the nose or the top lip or ears only, because of subsurface scattering, just edges of the But let's pick a darker color. Using tilt, you get these very, very interesting little colors here. Okay. So yeah, this preset works like that. It takes underlying color and manages to kind of mix it in with the color that you're using. And I'm not resizing the brush at all. I'm not doing anything to it. I'm just using it default. And also I use velocity of the brush to thin it down so you can get these interesting little like shapes, like when you take an oil pastel and dab it in, and then when you make a quick stroke. So basically, yeah, it's very interesting for me to work with these. Let's just make a quick neck. You can see I put this blue here, just as I said, to contrast the red a little bit, just to make this silly looking zombie face. And then have some red here. Yeah, this preset is very, very interesting for doing this more traditional looking mixing. And let's do some red. No, it's not good. Maybe more dark, some ambient occlusion. I should really make the brush smaller, but I don't want. I want to use it in default settings. I take another brush and just paint a little bit of lip and eye. Painting little highlights. This is horrible zombie face. Horrible McZombie face. Go back to our oil pastel. Yeah, for me it makes sense because, yeah, as I told you, I work with oil pastels, and I just love this. It's very weird, but I love this inflexibility of them sometimes. That they just don't allow you to make too much changes. You have to really try to be able to add another tone without muddying up things. So that's why I try to make something similar in the digital medium. And also the texture. I love the texture. The texture is really nice. Again saying this is a 1080p file, and these are the brushes in the default size with the default settings. And let's get to this one. New layer. Let's name this layer. Which one is this? Highlight. This is oil pastel. New layer. This brush is called Rough Expressive, and it's called that for a reason, and you'll see it. Rough Expressive. It's I love just drawing sketches with this one, because without tilt you have this kind of chalky brush. And when you tilt it, you just get this wow, get this kind of so it combines these two aspects of a single brush. So this expressive tilt and this very sketchy very like sketchy oh god, I forgot how to speak, but yeah, you can see how it would be easy to this is earrings, this is a lady. I rarely draw ladies, I figured out I don't really draw women much, so it's a good chance to try and draw normal, not some supermodel lady. This is a lady with some weird head coverings. I like headdresses. Headdresses are they can look so nice, interesting, like almost mystical. Yeah, this is expressive as fuck, because it lets you tilt and pressure control the opacity, and tilt also controls size. I mean, opacity is kind of constant and it becomes less when you tilt the brush. Let's flip there. But the expressive part is best used when like making a transition actually. So doing this kind of line work like this. That's where this brush shines. When you have this kind of intentionally nice little stroke, when you have some freedom to start stroke very thinly and then just add pressure to add opacity or add tilt to make it bigger and get this nice little texture. This is also in the full set, or I think I maybe added it to the free set also. I think this is in the free version also, to show you the capabilities of these very expressive brushes. I hope you like what you see, and I hope you buy my brushes. I want this lady to look fierce, not some weird weakling. No, 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 this woman is fierce. This lady is dangerous. Don't mess with her. Do not mess with her. Let's make it darker around the corners and darker around where her head is. Do not mess with her. She will kick your ass. So yeah, this is a combination of kind of chalky look and this very... I want to... I have to speak a bit better. I want to encourage you to use the stylus and to do bigger strokes, do like whooshy strokes and tilt your strokes, and you can like this stroke here was like, you know, all kinds of movement of your stylus can be caught by the modern high value professional digital stylus. So if you're not using it to get some interesting lines going, then you're missing a lot. So starting a line very tilted and finishing it not tilted, you can see that I got this very interesting line. Mayhaven says, haha, loving this character. Yeah, it's just a head, but yeah, she's badass. She's a badass, definitely. It's only a head, so like headshot. And you tilt it more, you get like, maybe let's make some like a non-suit almost. But again, introduce this heavy texture by tilting the brush. Introduces very heavy texture and it's very great, how to say, gratuitous. And again, now try to, for example, start with not tilted and go toward the tilted stroke, so you can get this dynamic going like this. No, like this. This dynamic, you can't see it, fuck, overlay. So this dynamic, start with. You can see this stroke is very. It's very dynamic. I love it. It's not just because I made it, it's a fact. Also, when it's not tilted, this brush gives you really like a nice sketchy vibe. Little flowers. Engraved in this scarf color. Yeah, it's a color. So yeah, this is a preset called Rough Expressive, and I think the name, let's just write it here. Whoa, accident. I wanted to make a big stroke. I have an Intuos 4L tablet, and it's quite a big tablet. It's quite a chunk of a tablet. So it lets me do some very big strokes. I'm super happy for it. Alright, this was a good demo. I feel like it is. Now, and can't speak, man. If you use the smudge brush additionally with it, you can get some very nice transitions. Like this hair can be really like everything can be smoothed up a little bit. Okay, this is rough expressive. Again, for all of you checking it out, you can buy this brush at my Cube Brush, Gumroad, and in my store. I will now paste the links. So these are links where, whoa, whoops. I need commas. Yeah, now it works. You can get them here for $5, or you can try 5 brushes in my free sampler. I spent a lot of time on these brushes and I'm very happy about how they turned out. This is another Sketcher brush. This is one of my first brushes that I ever made for Clip Studio. Because I just love sketching. It's one of my favorite things. And I like this freedom when I can have ability to make very thin and very thick strokes in one brush without changing the size all the time, without changing the opacity all the time. I just want to draw. I don't want to mess with brush sizes and brush settings and I want it to be simple. Hello Man88, good evening to you, my good sir. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing brush demos for my custom brush set I made for Clip Studio Paint. And this is Granny McNumnums. Again, controlling the size through tilt, controlling the opacity through pressure, and tilt also. So, sorry. Only pressure controls opacity in this brush. Tilt controls size. Pressure controls size partially. I want to kind of separate how pressure controls size and how tilt controls size. Tilt controls size more drastically, while pressure controls size discreetly. So you can have these strokes like this, that are, you can see it up here, like this. This is only pressure without tilt. You can still have a possibility of a dynamic stroke in case you don't have tilt. still, but when you have tilt, just get this. Wow, these big ass strokes, which are very fun to make. And again, I encourage everybody. I love it. It looks so Slavic. Yeah, I'm Slavic. You know, I'm from Serbia. So yeah, it's Slavic time. In Serbian, I would read your username as Manji, like smaller, Manji88. That Manji means smaller in Serbian. Make her this side of the face darker. This granny means business. With some little coins on the Slavic power, what can I say? I don't want to have her hand here, maybe. Some artificial, just little claw. I don't know how to paint hands, I'm sorry. But yeah, this brush is kind of very expressive, but not as much as the previous one. The previous one was just actually made for this kind of experimentation, where you control your stuff with tilt. So this rough sketcher is made for sketching. So yeah, Granny Mac Destroyer of Worlds. She has some gray streak here. Granny Mac Destroyer, painted with... Hello Purple Nerd! Just dropping by to say hi, spend some time, a bit of rhyme. Oh yeah! Slavic power. Yeah, I'm doing demoing of my brushes, and it's going really nice so far. It's going fine. Still dots. Yeah, also this one gives really nice dots when you put down dots. It's very interesting. Like you can see here, it gives kind of interesting little dots. spend some time, hang out with me. That's so nice of you. I've been talking to myself this whole time because I'm like that. I don't have a problem with talking to myself. Sulaiman. This is Sulaimana. This is Granny McNumnums. Granny McDestroyer. You know how grannies, babushkas have like almost like mustache and like little beards. This is a granny babushka McDestroyer. Do not mess with Granny Destroyer. Also, this brush is just good for these dynamic movement lines because your opacity controls the intensity of the line and tilt controls the width of the line, so you can make these lovely lovely little lines with this brush. So eyebrows with some gray in them, and like a little light in the eye we need. Do not mess with Granny. Do not mess with Granny. Granny kill you. Granny is dangerous. Yeah, quick strokes, having fun with it, that's the important thing. Do not worry, just do some really fun quick strokes and you'll be good with this. And what could we do here? Let's make a little design. So again, I'm using just one brush. I mean, I made these few strokes with this other one just to show the difference between this and the previous one. But yeah, this, no, not Oil Pastel, Rough Sketcher is the brush that I'm using in this little demo. Split edge. Yeah, I'm a bit screwed. I need free transform. I don't know how to do it here. Transform, free transform. Yeah, I just want to. No, I don't still know Clip Studio Paint so well. Let's try mesh transformation. Should deselect, edit. Transform, mesh transformation. Thank you. And just transform it a little bit so it doesn't look skewed. This is enough. Nobody cares. I'm on the wrong brush still. Alright. Let's use droplets. Just add a bit like just add a few droplets here and there. Just to show off my fancy little brushes. $5 on Gumroad. Thank you very much. I actually have about $50–60 in sales currently, which is fantastic. I'm super happy for it. I hope it continues. Oh yeah, this is good. Do not mess with Granny. She's dangerous. I think this, either this brush or one of these rough ones, either this or this is included in the free set. So I'm so sorry for not knowing which one currently, but yes, you can try this brush right now if you want. If you're a paid, free or paid customer. Paid people get 20 brushes that are very varied and really interesting, and free version gets 5. I need to get the hang of the shortcuts in Clip Studio, definitely, because it's kind of new for me too. Just let me see what the camera does. Okay, this is better. I'm in my screen like this. I should chill with this a little bit. Okay, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours right now, and I demoed like 10 presets. Like, I can't do anything slowly. I'm quickly. I'm horrible. I know. Let's name this. Let's pick the pencil brush and say this is rough. And try doing this. Rough in Cyrillic. Babushka. Should do some calligraphy. Let's try. Write babushka here. Yeah, this is Cyrillic, by the way, for those who don't know. But we don't say babushka. Russians say babushka. We say baba. Here's baba. Baba. Go baba go. Aimo. Baba. Yeah, we can do this. Alright, it's enough for this page. This is Rough Sketcher preset. Okay, I mean this will probably should come with some feature brush update. I'll give you these images also. I'll share it to my patrons, so if you want to have these for some reason, become a patron, give money. What else? Let's do. I think I'll do 1 or 2 more and go eat something because I'm hungry. I'm hungry and poor. Okay, Sharp Conte. Okay, so Conte is a heart pastel. That's what Conte is. but it's kind of similar to graphite in my head. So this thing is a brush that's mixing tilt and pressure, and it kind of mixes color much more when it's tilted and adds the selected color much more when it's not tilted. So this is stroke when it's not tilted, and this is stroke when it's tilted. It mixes in with the color underneath. So let's pick with start with this. So yeah, this is the non-tilted size, and also very useful for sketching, as all of my brushes are. So start with this, and it ends up with this. The advantage of this brush is this kind of more advanced color mixing and different feeling of texture. Oh my god, somebody's raiding me with like 40 people. Ah! Hello Stevie! Welcome to the brush demo stream. Yes, hello, welcome to a little everybody who doesn't know me. My name is Živko, and I am a digital painter from Serbia, and I am currently demoing my premium Clip Studio brush set, and I'm gonna show you what I made. How are you, G? Stevie says, I'm really fine. I have yesterday I've released finally this Clip Studio Paint set, and I'm really happy to now spend a few hours demoing my brushes. And this, now I'm gonna go through with you with all these little pages of presets. So this is airbrush. I have a preset that's very fun and airbrushy. I painted this whole page with one brush. This is a preset like Art Rage Pastel. I call it Art Rage Pastel, and I like that too. And this page is one of my favorite pencils that I ever made. 50 viewers, oh my goodness, it's insane. Come on, I never had 50 viewers in this like that in a lot of time, I think. So this, yeah, the name of the brush set is eXpressure. So yeah, this is one highlight brush. It's not important so much. This one is oil pastel brush. This one is a rough expressive preset. It's very fun. And this one also Granny Num Nums, also a sketchy preset. And now I started doing another brush. So welcome all the raiders. I am free for plunder. I am available for plunder, and I welcome plundering. So thank you very much for increasing the number of my viewers for something that I haven't had in a long time. As I gave up streaming for a long time because I have had like 6 viewers in average. I am available for plunder. Okay, let's do. So this is another brush preset. It's called Sharp Conte. Conte is a kind of hard pastel, for those who don't know. And this is my little demo on how I work with it. Yeah, it's also quite expressive, and it's also quite free. and it's made for sketching. It's made for having a lot of fun with it, the brush. I'm trying to demo my brushes so I can have something so people can see actually like how they work in practice. I'm very happy with them. This is some Ferengi shit. Almost. Let's make him like have some forehead that's wrinkly, and this is the chin. I'm gonna take this red and make the lips, and yeah, I'm happy to see people liking my way of doing things. I try to be expressive because for me it just works that way the best. I mean, this is no there is no like specific way why I'm drawing this, but yeah. I gotta use my over 10 viewers to paint something interesting while I have them. But this brush is very also pretty much tilt makes oh my god, I forgot how to speak. Tilt determines how much it mixes and determines the size, so you can be quite mixy with this one, and you can do interesting little like nuances that are also grainy and more kind of traditional in a way. So this is kind of, let's make this some sci-fi helmet thing. The point of these brushes is to have them have a lot of versatility in one brush, so we can just not rely on always changing our brush size, but using our wrists and our tilt and our pressure and all of these nice things to change those. So you can change the way this brush interacts by tilting it and pressing it. So that's the idea behind it. Tilt kind of, in this preset, tilt mixes it up a little bit. And when you remove it, you get this sharp, more sharper brush tip. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see the texture and the grain. You can see the texture and the grain is very pronounced here. Plundering! Plunder me! Plunder! Leave all your subscribes to me! Oh yeah, you can subscribe to me, by the way, because I'm a Twitch affiliate now. So if you subscribe to me, you'll be able to see this video, this VOD of this stream. You'll be able to access it when I'm done, and you can see how I work, and you can listen to my goofy voice and have a nice time, hopefully. Okay, now let's add a bit of dark here. As you can see, you can't see, unfortunately. I should really have a cam on my hand. It would be really interesting if I had a camera on my actual hand, so you can see what am I doing and how am I tilting this, and how the hell am I achieving this, if you're wondering. I mean, it's not nuclear physics, it's just maybe some people don't get. Mayhaven, thank you for following, and yeah, everybody, raiders and non-raiders, follow me. I really appreciate it. And Kale McDonald's, welcome for following. You need to follow me because I will be happy. If that's not enough reason, then you don't need to watch me, you know. Just make your buddy Gilles happy by following him and subscribing to him and being a part of this stream, asking questions and having fun on the stream. That's also very important. If we don't have fun on the stream, then why am I doing this? Then, you know, let's flip. Yeah, it's kind of flipped. So let's just erase a little bit. So my music DJ is this program called Pretzel. I don't have much with music that's being played. If you're interested, what's played is displayed down below in the chat. I don't actually know much about this music. This actually looks good. I'm happy with how it just turned out. Let's put this red color here. Let's mix it with this a little bit. I need it darker. So I like to mix color on the canvas. That's my favorite way to mix colors. Mixing color on the canvas is just so effective for me. Or I also like mixing color just besides the. So I want this, and I want the purple highlight. I will mix it here. And then I have a lot of colors to pick from. So you can see the texture here. The texture is really, I love it. And this is, as I said, like probably a million times up until now. If somebody's listening and watching this stream for a longer time, I'm sorry, but I have to repeat. this is all made with the default settings of the brush. I'm not changing the size, I'm not changing the opacity, I'm not doing anything. I'm changing size and opacity only by using the brush's built-in settings that let you resize the brush by tilting it, which feels much more natural to me, and I'll keep doing this. Because it feels much more natural to some ears. I need red ears because of the subsurface scattering, but it's always over dramatizing. You know, I'm dramatizing this, so I'm not. It's not realistic. So I'm just adding some natural flesh tones to this guy here. And using the tilted brush to mix a little more subtly. And when I don't want to mix more subtly, I use the brush that's untilted. This is ear face. No, fuck. This is Floppy McEarson. Floppy McEarful. That's his name. Floppy McEarful. It's almost like a Ferengi from Star Trek. Almost. Let's see this round. The point here is to be relaxed and have these little fun strokes that are... Oh no! No Doolittle. No. Undo. Thank you. Undo. Alright. Have this freedom of these big funky strokes where you can have a lot of dynamics in just one brush. So you can have really immersion. That's what I like to say. It is much bigger immersion than if you take just normal, like a lot of digital brushes are not really immersive. They're just boring. They're boring and they're not something that I would like to use. So I made my own, as I do. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm kind of hoping not to talk with myself too much. You can buy this brush set for $5 in my web stores. And let's see, Mayhaven says, it's also shocking how few brushes utilize Clip Studio's tilt feature. Yeah, it is actually. Not just Clip Studio. Almost all the programs that you have, kind of forget about it. Forget about it! I have a premium brush set for PaintStorm Studio, which is a very, very powerful program. But the problem with their brushes is that they're more show-off brushes of what the program can do than actual brushes for painting. So I made a set for PaintStorm Studio. I'm selling it also for a few years already. But for Clip Studio, I feel like just most of the brushes don't... I mean, now I will show you one of the worst starting brushes I've ever seen for Clip Studio. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I need pastel brushes. They're horrible. I hate them. Soft highlight gel. Oh yes. No, this is eraser. Pencil. I can't find it. I can't find it, but there is a horrible kind of pastel brush that is a part of Clip Studio Paint. I was horrified by how this... Why do they have this horrible brush? No, this is not it. Colored pencil. No, this... Oh yes, pastel. Yeah. Look at this. Ah! Oh my god. Look at this brush. Look at this. It's ah, god. Look, horrible. Charcoal. Okay, it's not even that bad. But, I mean, it's so ugly. There is zero dynamics in this brush. This is zero dynamics. Basically, tilt does nothing. Pressure does nothing. Absolutely. I don't know why this brush is made a starting brush in a program like this. It just thinks you think you don't know how to paint because this thing is so horrible. Look at this brush. I mean, this texture is so in your nose. It's ugly. It's horrible. This is just ew. Basically, this is horrible. And I was shocked by the bad quality of the starting brushes in Clip Studio Paint. This is horrible. This brush is called charcoal. This is ew. The best thing about freaking charcoal is the possibility to hold it, tilt it, and make wonderful expressive lines like this. Like, now when you have a pressed chalk, it can make such like wonderful dynamic lines that these horrible brushes don't let you have. Like, this is a dynamic line. Look, I mean, come on. When you just draw something with this, it just feels that you draw better because you have this response to your freaking the way you hold the pencil. The way you hold the pencil is important, and if you have response to how you hold your stylus, your digital tool, you will be much more immersed when you paint. That's why brushes don't make you a better artist. Never will, never no. But brushes, good brushes, make you more immersed into this art that you're making, and that's why I spent a lot of time to make brushes like this one that has this wonderful tilt control where you can have lovely like soft shapes and just fill them up with just one flick of the wrist. Now, this is called what's a dynamic line. If you ever worked with an airbrush in your life, with a small airbrush like a little airbrush gun, you know that as far as you go, if you lift the airbrush, it becomes like this. So I am trying to convey this realistic experience with my presets. I mean realistic, it's not realistic, it's something along the way of realistic. So I really said now I got into this long tirade of useless information. But yeah, you need dynamics in your brushes. It's very, very, very important. So if you want to express better, you need your brushes to have dynamics in them, to not have to mess with a million settings just to do a soft line that would just mix a little bit. And just with the same brush you can do this. So if the same brush does this and this, that's what I need in when I'm painting, when I'm drawing. For me, that's what I need. And many brushes don't give you this, many programs don't give you this. And what to do when you don't have it? Make it yourself. That's why I'm doing this. And Clip Studio also actually retweeted me once before with some of these brush samples, and I've seen many people who really expressed a lot of interest in this, so that's why I decided to invest time in this and get it done and get it out as soon as I can, but not at the detriment of anybody. The brushes are full, the brushes are not half-assed. I did miss a few things, but I will fix them in the next update. I always forget that Clip Studio Paint has this tool property window where you can add all these settings that you'd like people to have it handy. Like make corners pointed is one of my favorite settings. Look at how this works. This makes corners rough. This is very, very interesting. It gives your work this additional dimension. May Heaven says, Clip Studio retweeting you was how I discovered your brushes and eagerly waited their release. Yeah. I'm really happy that they decided to retweet me. I hope they retweet my current the release announcement, so more people can see it. Also, yeah, if you're following me, go retweet my brush announcement and let more people know that they can get this and get me some eyes. And if this starts to sell, I will be able to spend much more time developing stuff like this. Because I really enjoy it. I am very glad that I got to make these. Now we'll make corners pointed turn off. Yeah, this is kind of dry pastel on. Alright. I think this is the example good enough. Alright. Sharp content. I should have to name the layers. And let's make a new one. And this is the smearing chalk. This is also one of my favorite presets because it's just fun. I'm super good at reasoning, you can see, just because it's fun. So this is chalk. Like if you're like a messy chalk preset. So like if you dab it with your hand or that kind of thing. So it can be chalk, it can be a combination of graphite and chalk, but the joy of this preset is its ability to also, like most of my presets that I made, just use the full dynamic range of the brush and do some sketching very easily. Come on, let's do some cubes. You know, you can you just have this big dynamic range of the brush, not this one. Oh my god. There's a really huge dynamic range of this brush, and I like using one for heads, for example, because you can do like something like this, like a head, and do this. It's fun. Just fill up things with just one big flick of the stroke. That's just like interesting, you know? So tilt is very important in this one, of course. You can see the dynamic range of it. I am not tilting it, I'm not pressing it much. Now I'm pressing it much, now I'm tilting it. Now again, like just trying to utilize this this dynamic range of the controls. I didn't buy this super expensive tablet to make strokes like this all the time. Sorry, no, I want something like this. This, for example. Get Insta hat. Or this, like a big mustache. Or this is like a part of a coat, like a big furry coat. Furry coat. This didn't turn out as I wanted it to. So this is good, very good for characters. So. Yeah, this is very fun. It's a very fun brush to use. Santa Claus. Yeah, you have to use this dynamic range of the brush. Try like to do some fun little strokes. That's the point.
What am I? Where am I? Don't forget that you're the reason I'm alive. What am I? Where am I?
Because we got Insta beard. And still you get this very thin line that you need it. You just need to flick your wrist a little bit and you get this very thick. So basically your tilt is controlling the size of the brush. And giving you this big expressive range which you want and you need. You need a big expressive range. You want to be able to make strokes that looks nice. You want to give this guy more hair. And you can do it easily with this one. To see how simple it is to make something look nice when you have good tools. Some smoke coming behind him. And again, I'm using only the brush on its default settings currently. I'm streaming for 3 hours already, so yeah, I think I'll probably be done with this stream very soon. But again, I encourage you, check my brushes out, and if you like what you see, buy them for $5 and you'll support me, and make sure that I make more of these. Subscribe to me on Twitch, become a patron on patreon.com/Zhillustrator. Everything is down below. And you'll be making sure that I make nice things. Because I love making nice things for people. But I need to live off of something, of course. Thanks for the stream. Thank you so much, Mayhaven, to be here with me on the stream. I'll probably finish this page and talk a little bit more. If somebody has questions, feel free to ask. Flip. Oh yeah, I've already had it flipped. Just use this expressiveness that you're given. It's important. I want to see what you make with them. If you have my brush set, tweet at me on Twitter. I'll retweet you. If I like what you made, I can share it on the stream. And the next stream will probably be the continuation of this demo, because for me, it's really important to get people to buy this, because it will help me a lot in my daily life. So yeah, The next stream will also probably be demoing the presets, but continuing with this one. It's very similar. It's very similar, a bit more chunky. This one, very smooth. It's my soft pencil. This is normal pencil. It's boring pencil. This one is very smooth brush, but decreases size with tilts, so you don't have to. You can also do these kind of lines. This one, no, I mean this one is a big sloppy one. This one, and then spray brush. This is the current entirety of the current brush pack. 20 presets. Like 20 viewers I have right now, which is awesome. So this smearing chalk is much more expressive. It's for if you want to do some soft lines and then just fill up the things. The other smearing chalk is a bit chunkier, so it's more for more chunkier drawings. This one is more, it has a bigger range. I just love this possibility of having a sketch brush and a fill brush in the same brush. It's the champion of this is actually a different software called Paintstorm Studio. Its brush engine is just phenomenal, and I love it. For it, I have the most advanced brushes, I think. They allow me to just do many little fun things. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and you're hopefully looking forward to the next stream. I'm not sure when. Currently there's some family holidays coming up and I won't be home, and we'll see when I will be able to do another stream. This is smearing chalk. That's why I had to do it today. Smearing chalk 2. I really wonder what would people do with these brushes, because firstly I really made them for me initially, you know, so I'm kind of looking forward to people's images, artwork. It would be really interesting to see. Alright, let's leave the stylus, because if I don't leave it, I'll paint for 5 more hours. And now, before I'm gonna first rename this layer, smearing chalk 2, and slowly again, let's go through, let's hide this. Let's go through all these test pages that I've made. So first one, airbrush detail, lovely little fucking hell, it's so hard to say, lovely little grainy airbrush. Everything again painted with just one brush on its default settings. And now I can even still say this. This is Artridge Pastel preset. This is a wonderful blendy pastel that leaves a little bit of texture. It's heavily textured, and you can get really interesting textures while using it. Now, next one is Graphite Tilt. This is a pencil, and this is a very expressive pencil, very messy pencil, very realistic pencil, like a graphite stick actually, not a pencil, because you can tilt a graphite stick I love using graphite sticks. It's one of my most enjoyable mediums to use, even though you get dirty as hell when using it. Yeah, that's the truth. This is a part of the free, this brush is part of the free presets collection, so get it, try it. This is a brush where I demoed, it's a highlight brush basically, it's a soft highlighter. It's really good for making line work appear lighter and similar. This is oil pastel. I just finished this one. I did not have to. I don't want to do more, not to spend more time, but I demoed it, and you can go back to the stream and see. If you're a subscriber, go subscribe to me. This is Rough Expressive. This is also one of my favorites brush presets. You just make your strokes fly through the page. It's just, I love it. And this is a very fearsome lady here. Next one. Oh yeah, I need to flip this. Yeah, I need to flip this layer. Edit. How do I flip it? Transform. Edit. Transform. Flip horizontal. Okay, this needs to be like this. So this is another rough sketcher preset, which is really useful for sketching, of course. Yes. Apply to transform. This is Sharp Conte. This is a hard pastel preset, and it's between pencil and oil pastel and soft pastel, something between because I know how they work. I have some at home, and they really are interesting to work with. And in the end, smearing chalk, and I mean, maybe you can find a better name for it, but for now it's alright. I hope you enjoyed the stream again. Follow me everywhere. Let me just leave the links one last time. Links. Check out all my social networks. I'm most active on Twitter and Instagram a little bit. but on Twitter the most. And check out, consider being a patron, and consider buying this pack to help me out. And in the next stream I'll do some more demos and trying to give you more reasons to buy this. I know I'm horrible. Alright everybody, follow me on Twitch if you haven't. It's very important, super important, very super important. Don't wuss out, follow me, and so you can see my next stream, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Alright, I'm ending it right now, bye bye.